Thanks for joining me today for Tea and Poetry. I hope you're having a good day so far. You know what? If you're curious, I don't know what you're drinking for Tea and Poetry, but I am drinking a Harrods tea, blend number 42. So I'm curious to know if you've ever had it, or if you haven't, maybe what you like to drink over Tea and Poetry. Not judging, just asking. So today I wanted to read. I've been thinking a lot about Philip Levine. I want to read something from his Simple Truth, The Simple Truth. This collection of poems of Philip Levine's won the Pulitzer Prize. Pretty amazing, and I love this. I love a lot of the poems, but I love this particular poem. It's called The Poem of Chalk. So I'll just read it. It's a little bit about New York, but it's also kind of about a lot of things. It's about life, it's about aging, it's about death, it's about treating people with dignity, just kind of a shared humanity between these two, between the narrator and the other character. So I'm just gonna read it because I love Philip Levine. Sorry, it's a little noisy. I think they're doing some construction outside, so it might be a little buzzy out there. Anyway, the poem of Chalk. On the way to Lower Broadway this morning, I faced a tall man speaking to a piece of chalk held in his right hand. The left was open and it kept the beat, for his speech had a rhythm, was a chant or dance, perhaps even a poem in French, for he was from Senegal and spoke French so slowly and precisely that I could understand as though hurled back 50 years to my high school classroom. A slender man, elegant in his manner, neatly dressed in the remnants of 2 blue suits, his tie fixed squarely, his white shirt spotless though unironed. He knew the whole history of chalk, not only of this particular piece, but also of the chalk with which I wrote my name the day they welcomed me back to school after the death of my father. He knew feldspar. He knew calcium, oyster shells. He knew what creatures had given their spines to become the dust time pressed into these perfect cones. He knew the sadness of classrooms in December, when the light fails early and the words on the blackboard abandon their grammar and sense, and then even their shapes, so that each letter points in every direction at once and means nothing at all. At first I thought his short beard was frosted with chalk as we stood face to face, no more than a foot apart. I saw the hairs were white, for though youthful in his gestures, he was, like me, an aging man, though far nobler in appearance, with his high, carved cheekbones, his broad shoulders, and clear dark eyes. He had the bearing of a king of Lower Broadway, someone out of the mind of Shakespeare or Garcia Lorca, someone for whom loss had sweetened into charity. We stood for that one long minute, the two of us sharing the final poem of chalk, while the great city raged around us, and then the poem ended, as all poems do. And his left hand dropped to his side abruptly, and he handed me the piece of chalk. I bowed, knowing how large a gift this was, and wrote my thanks on the air where it might be heard forever, below the seashells' stiffening cry. Oh wow, there's so much I love. Oh gosh, well, I'm gonna try not to start crying here. I love the humanity. I love his generosity. Just the sweetness of the way that he regards this man, who is probably deranged, but who he treats with such care and dignity. lot of empathy here. And I think for me right now, it's something that we could all benefit from having more of. But I just have to say, I keep going back to this one line: someone for whom loss had sweetened into charity. I mean, okay. God, I love James Levine. Honestly, or Philip Levine. Honestly, I can see why he won the Pulitzer Prize for this collection. It's stunning. That was a bit of a long poem, so I don't think I'll read any others, but I am going to read some more. I'm going to definitely come back to you, Philip Levine, and I'm going to read more of you. Okay, I am going to finish my tea, and you can finish whatever you're drinking. I'd actually, no, I'm making a joke. I was going to say, if you want to send me a note and tell me what you drink during tea and poetry, never mind. Anyway, I will, I'm going to finish my tea and then I'm going to go back to work, but I will be back with more tea and poetry. In the meantime, take care.